Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you've been doing well. I hope that your spirits are high. I hope that all the joy in your life you are feeling to the fullest. I hope that all the joy that you know is to come is right around the corner. Let's begin your reading. What messages want to come through for my Sagittarius? Sagittarius, I feel like there's a lot of really positive things that are around the corner, or actually that are right here, right in front of your face, but there is a feeling of sadness. Maybe those positive things have come at some kind of cost. Maybe that cost was yours. Maybe that cost was for someone else that had to pay it. You wish things could have been a different way or could be a different way. You're getting the result that you want, but the methods would have been nice if they were different. One area of your life may be working out really well, while another feels really frustrating. You may feel like you dug yourself into a hole and you're not sure how to get out of it. You don't know how to get out. The question is, what is influencing your decisions, though? Are you factoring in things that maybe you shouldn't? Maybe there are things that you think you would lose if you were to make a different choice, but that loss, is it really worth keeping? Or is the loss really not as big as you think that it is? Are you limited in thinking that whatever you may lose here, this is the only place you can get that thing? If you were to go somewhere else, you couldn't get it. This is the place, so I have to stay right where I am if I want to keep that thing. There's no other option. There's no grass greener anywhere else. There are still moves you can make even if you were to stay where you are. Why not make them? What excuses are you making to not make them? That you are trying to logic are the right reasons, but make you feel terrible because that logic doesn't align with your heart. And your heart knows that your logic isn't truly being truthful. So there is a disconnect. Sagittarius, what is going to be your next move? How will you define your life? How will you create it? How much of an active participator will you be? You're very active. You're a very active participator in life. Pretty much always. That's just how you roll. Don't limit what you think the world can offer you. This doesn't mean you need to make any changes right now, but just be open to the possibility that there are better options. If you're stuck, it may be because you believe that you are stuck, and not because you actually are stuck. What are you growing right now? The work and energy that you're putting into things, is it going to lead you to where you want to be? Are you doing enough in the areas that will support you in terms of where you want to be? What are you putting on the back burner? What are you putting in the front? And are those aligned to what you actually want to materialize in the future? Are there wishes that you have that are unfulfilled? Are you also thinking in a competitive way that is not really serving you or those around you? Are you looking at yourself and looking at someone else and thinking that when someone else gains, that means that you lose? And that when someone else loses, that means that you gain? Because that's not how it works. How much are you giving to others? The more that you give to others, the more that you will receive. If you are feeling stagnant, if you feel like there's no opportunities out there, if you feel like there is no clear path, start giving. Start giving in terms of your ideas, your attention, your action. Because opportunities will start to open up once you do that. Now, the opportunities are not going to show up the first time that you give. It's going to take 3 weeks or so. But you'll find that you're feeling more connected to your reality and to people around you. And when you feel more connected, then you're more plugged in to what's going on. And when you're giving, then you're more plugged into the good of what's going on. And then by default, good must come back. What you put into the system is what you will get back. Money might be tight right now, which could also be a trapping point. It's not as tight as you think. And there's a lot of potential that exists in positive ways in that area of life. It is important for you to assess how things are going right now and if you are happy with them, because we do have the Tower card. And this is one of those cards, like you guys know I read intuitively, but with the Tower card, that one I read literally, because every time it shows up for me, oh my God. It is the only card in the deck that I don't like. Yeah, so this is the, like, pay attention to what changes you're being called by the universe, by your inner spirit to be making, and make them. Like, yeah. So trying to think back on my experiences with the Tower, because it's not like I'm not always assessing that. So why does the Tower show up for me sometimes? And I think it's because, yeah, there are certain moves to make that I'm trying to keep as is and trying to work and solve them where they are when there's something different that I'm not wanting to focus on, because either there's stagnant energy in me that's not allowing me to move, or because I just don't want to, I guess. I don't want to make the hard call sometimes. So there's not a hard call you need to make, okay? There's not some huge shift you need to make. That's not what I feel like the Tower is for you guys, but there is an assessment that needs to be made. To me, it actually feels like it's in the health realm, something to do with the body. So it doesn't have to be health. It could be your crystalline upgrades. But something needs to be assessed here. A change doesn't necessarily need to be made, but realization needs to be had about something. So if you have a vision, you need to be honest about what that vision is. You need to be honest about whether it is something you can materialize. If the answer is no, you need to adjust your vision to something that feels good and that you know you can materialize. That is a Venn diagram. You don't pick something that you can't materialize but feels good. You don't pick something that you can materialize but feels terrible. You find the connection point between the two, and then that becomes your vision that you chase after. It does not mean that the thing that you really want that you can't materialize will never materialize because now you shifted your focus. What it means is the thing that feels good and you can materialize is going to be the next step for you. Is going to prepare you, guide you, teach you, build you into the version of yourself that will then be ready or closer to be able to accomplish the thing that you really want, that you feel like you can't make happen right now. So yeah, you need to find that Venn diagram. Also, you're very much loved, and you're also showing a lot of love to others, and it is 100% recognized and noticed and appreciated and felt to the very depths of the other individual's being. And there is not any doubt in that. So, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave you here, but honestly, the world, totally your oyster. It's right there. But you do have to find that Venn diagram. You do have to make sure that whatever you're building, that you are prioritizing or putting action towards those things once you figure out that Venn diagram and that new vision. And yeah, make any reassessments that you need to make. Give to others, which not saying that you don't give, because you definitely are very generous, Sagittarius, but there may be ways in which you can kind of contribute to others that's going to open up opportunities for you. Maybe not, well, actually, I do feel like it will be more direct, but it could be from other means. And finances, be patient with that. I don't have a timeline. I guess I get 4. So it could be 4 weeks. It's not 4 days. Well, maybe for some of you. Either 4 weeks or 4 months. Hopefully it's 4 weeks. But yeah, and don't look to others in terms of like a win-lose kind of, or like zero-sum game where when somebody gains you lose, and when you gain they lose, or when they lose you gain. Don't get caught up in that thinking, because when other people gain, you gain. Always. 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 Yeah, when people that you care about gain, or people in your circle, even if they're not your friends, maybe they're just in your circle, when they gain, you also gain. You may not know how at that point in time, you may not see it, but bask in their glory, bask in their win, and you will have wins. All right, Sagittarius, I will catch you in the next one.